The Accidental Entrepreneur is produced by Beinhacker Law and brought to you through our affiliate relationships with the following sponsors. One of One Productions, the New Jersey-based podcast studio that produces and edits both audio and video podcasts. They sell equipment for the average podcaster and have even created a guesting kit exclusively for our listeners. North Authentic, the conscious hair care marketplace offering the cleanest brands from around the world. The Healthy Place, the e-commerce site with thousands of supplements to help you live a healthier life, along with natural solutions for chronic pain, stress, anxiety, depression, sleeplessness, and much, much more. And be sure to support the podcast by ordering some logo merchandise from our online store. Listen to all of our sponsors' commercials later in this episode and follow their links in the show notes to learn more about their products and services.
We wanted to have we were going to start with a multivitamin, and it really was, what's the best packaging? Because glass, we were first, okay, let's go glass. No, because
can't ship it, it's expensive, breaks, right?
It's very expensive, and a lot of municipalities have stopped accepting glass in the recycling bin because it breaks and it contaminates, as you said previously, everything else, and then it can't be recycled.
Right.
So we have decided our first product, multivitamin, is called Synergy, and it is in a plastic-free compostable pouch, which is fantastic, but it's also very expensive, where, a white plastic vitamin bottle literally is like a penny, to put your supplement in.
Yeah, it's too expensive, so nobody wants to care. Right.
Right. So here with Artemida, that's why it's like, okay, listen, I'm still selling plastic.
Yeah, you can't get rid of it 100%,
I can't stop. So this is kind of like, I'm testing it. Let's see what happens. And the more businesses who decide to use compostable material, the price is going to come down.
Of course. It's like batteries in cars, right? I mean.
Exactly.
Now, Denise, I see a lot of food, snacks, things like that now in these zippered up pouches. Is that what they are? Those are the compostable ones?
Exactly. So just like this is.
Got it.
Okay. So it's in this little pouch.
There's crackers in there. I've seen pickles. I've seen that's all the good stuff.
Right. But there's a lot of confusion about composting or about something that says it's compostable. People assume it's biodegradable, which means it's just going to break down. You can't recycle it. You cannot put that in your recycling.
The information provided in these episodes is for entertainment purposes only. It is not a guarantee of success or to be construed as advice of any kind. You should always seek advice from local licensed professionals before making any decisions.
The dictionary defines an entrepreneur as a person who organizes and manages any enterprise, especially a business, usually with considerable initiative and risk. People often start a business without much choice, perhaps due to a job loss or just being dissatisfied at work. And they come up with an idea they just know can be successful. They become entrepreneurs by accident. That is to say, their success or failure happens by accident, not with intention. My name is Mitch Beinhacker. I'm a corporate attorney and a business advisor. You're listening to The Accidental Entrepreneur, my podcast about how to achieve success on purpose, not by accident. Join me along with our monthly guests, where we share our knowledge and help you get a hold of your business. And now on to today's episode.
Hi there, I'm Denise Liota. I am the founder and owner of Artemida. We are an eco-conscious health, wellness, and lifestyle brand for women.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of The Accidental Entrepreneur. For those people out there listening on their favorite podcast directories, be sure to like us on the directory, give us hopefully a 5-star review. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and like us on there as well. So I'm very excited today to have on the show Denise Liota. I assume you're not related to Ray Liotta, the actor, right? I think his name's with 2 T's. Is that correct?
It's with 2 T's. Right. Yeah. There are some people in my family who used to say that we are related.
Maybe going way back, you're related. The funny thing is, my last name, Beinhacker, if you meet another Beinhacker, even if they spell it differently, we're connected somehow. I may not know them.
I would believe that.
Yeah, it's not a common name. Okay, so we're going to talk today about your company, Artemida, and a little bit about your background. So maybe you can go backwards and we'll talk about, your history in corporate America and all the things you've done. And then we can lead that into, the founding of the business and what it's doing now.
Sure.
Okay.
So I started about 25 years ago in the health and wellness space in direct mail marketing. I graduated from college with a marketing degree, and the first job that I interviewed with that was not in sales, which I did not want to do, was for the company I now own. I took ownership of it in 2016.
Okay.
And I really, once I took ownership, wanted to do something very different than what was currently being done out there. And the result is Artemida.
So you were working for the company prior to that? How many years?
Yeah, I was with this company since 1997. I took a break for about 7 years to stay home with my boys. And then went back in, did a few different things, and the owner wanted to retire, so
You bought him out.
Stepped in.
Nice. So what were you an executive at that point before you took a leave for your kids?
We are a really small company. We actually thankfully generated a lot of revenue, but with a small staff. And I was promoted from entry-level marketer, and I also did some bookkeeping because I had some accounting background, and then kind of shifted into marketing manager, and then really did run the company. And then when I came back after being home with my boys, they really didn't need anybody, but they were like, sure, we'll take you on part-time. And I stepped back into my old role, and things just started to escalate. Then the owner wanted to retire, and then I took ownership of it.
Good. So before that, you said 1997. So what were you doing before that? We were working in corporate America, where you're...
Oh, no. So after high school, I was going to be a school teacher, and that didn't really work out. And then I was like, I'll be an accountant. And I'm like, I really didn't love that because I was diagnosed at 48 with ADD. And if I would have been diagnosed earlier, I think I would have gotten through accounting, but I don't think I would have stuck with it because I had to take a marketing class, and I loved it. I loved it. I love what I do. I love marketing. I could go all day about it. I just really get giddy. I love it.
Well, it's a funny conversation. The marketing industry, because I graduated high school, I guess in 85, so college 89, law school 92. You've seen the whole industry change from, what we call traditional marketing to all this online social media kind of do-it-yourself kind of stuff. Have you seen, what's your feeling about the business today, like versus what it used to be? I mean, is it easier? It's better for the small business owner? Are they missing out on things? I was just curious as to what your perspective is on, the whole marketing industry.
I really feel that it just keeps expanding with new and innovative ways to market, which I feel is amazing. I mean, any way that we can get products out there that will really help people, which Artemida is definitely all about helping, it is great for us to take advantage of. And, being in the direct mail space, a lot of people are like, well, what's direct mail? I don't understand. Right. I don't know that. And then the internet came and they say, oh, direct mail's dead. Direct mail is not dead. It's not going anywhere. There's studies with millennials. They love to open mail. They prefer to have something in their hands, tangible, and read it over online. They're really responding to direct mail campaigns. It's just not going anywhere. But the key is, having the knowledge to really utilize all of it is rare.
Yeah.
Finding that with one person. So you really have to ask for help to be able to take advantage of all those things. And that was a problem. I did have a problem asking for help back in the day because I always needed that control, but I've learned, to ask for help to do things I can't do. And Artemida definitely is a direct result of asking for that help.
So was Artemida a company you joined pretty much out of school, and then were you doing marketing
Artemida
before
is a
then?
brand new brand.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Artemida is a brand new brand.
Got it.
My direct mail brand's completely separate. Artemida is
I'm sorry.
all online.
Got
the direct mail companies, they're not online. So Artemida is all online. We launched Earth Day of 2021. Even though we didn't have a product, we just, because we're very eco-conscious and really want to educate. And it's not, oh, you have to do X, Y, and Z because, we're killing the planet. I don't work that way. I, like to just, if I learn something new that I didn't know before, I'll try to make small changes because once I know something that's a problem, if I'm contributing to the problem, I don't want to do that anymore. But I can't, I'm still drink out of plastic bottles.
It's hard to make a wholesale change. It's hard for most people. It's like going to the gym, right? All of a sudden you're going to go every day, twice a day, and you just drop it 2 weeks later because it's too much for you. I think, what's that Japanese term? Kaizen, where you make little changes, make a big difference. I think that, right?
Exactly.
The only way we're going to save the planet. Yeah. Like all of a sudden everything in your house is glass and you couldn't even find enough glass containers to get rid of all the plastic and everything. We have plastic in everything that we use. That's one of the problems. Absolutely. So the direct mail company, and is direct mail like direct response marketing, or is that like really just a subcategory of direct mail, or is that really what direct mail is intended to do?
I feel it's direct response. It's direct to the consumer, that it definitely is something where I really feel if you could pair online marketing to offline marketing, as part of your campaign, that's the key. That really is the key, is to, to have communication with the customer, potential customer, multiple times in multiple ways and see what works best for them. And
get them to go from one to the other and learn about. So the mail company, what does that sell?
We sell supplements also. And because this is what happened. Okay. So it's all supplements. And I had in 2019, I think it was around 2019, I saw an article from National Geographic that said only 9% of all single-use plastic is recycled. And I'm telling you, Mitch, it blew my mind. It really did. I was like,
how much? 9%?
9.
I'm surprised 9%. It's that high. I'm surprised it's that high. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was blown away. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So here is this company that now I own, and I'm selling all of these plastic vitamin bottles. It's like, oh, shit.
And you figured, right. Well, they're not, but are they one use? No. Yeah, they are one use. When they're ounce, they're empty.
They are.
Recently I read an article and then I found out that it became a podcast. So I listened to the podcast, and the woman who either wrote the article or did the podcast has won awards for, it was all about the plastics industry. It went back like in the 70s where they said, oh, we're going to recycle. It started the whole recycling thing with these numbers, which is all BS, by the way. It's all BS. It's for the industry to sort things, whatever. And they had this commitment to make things recyclable. And yeah, she says something like 5 to 10%, like they're never going to be able to recycle more than that. And they have this new commitment now that in 20 years or some odd, we're going to be 100% recycled. And it's all hype and marketing. It's never going to happen unless people stop using plastic, because the industry doesn't want you to stop using plastic. That's how they make money. So, and you can't, I think it degrades, right? You can't recycle these things unless you took your vitamin bottles, right, and wash them and put new labels on them. That would be true recycling, but you can't melt it down and reuse it because a lot of it degrades in the process. And we're all duped. We have this thing in our town, right? We recycle. People mostly contaminate their garbage anyway, so they put the wrong things together. And it's all, we should do like a whole podcast series on that, because it's all a myth. We're all like totally being misled. So yeah, I forget how we got on this, but I think it's a good topic, because that's what Artemida does, right? It cares about the earth. Oh, I think because you said you launched on Earth Day and it was more an informational launch, right? You didn't have products yet. Yeah.
Correct. We knew we wanted to have we were going to start with a multivitamin, and it really was, what's the best packaging? Because glass, we were first, okay, let's go glass. No, because
ship it, it's expensive, breaks, right? It's
very expensive. And a lot of municipalities have stopped accepting glass in the recycling bin because it breaks and it contaminates, as you said previously, everything else, and then it can't be recycled.
Right.
So we have decided our first product, multivitamin, is called Synergy, and it is in a plastic-free compostable pouch, which is fantastic, but it's also very expensive, where, a white plastic vitamin bottle literally is like a penny, to put your supplement in.
Yeah. It's too expensive, so nobody wants to care. Right.
Right. So here with Artemida, that's why it's like, okay, listen, I'm still selling plastic.
Yeah, you can't get rid of it 100%,
I can't
right?
I can't stop. So this is kind of like I'm testing it. Let's see what happens. And the more businesses who decide to use compostable material, the price is going to come down.
Of course. It's like batteries in cars, right? I mean,
exactly.
Now, Denise, I see a lot of food, snacks, things like that now in these zippered up pouches. Is that what they are? Those are the compostable ones?
Exactly.
Recyclable?
So just like this is.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So it's in this little pouch.
There's crackers in there. I've seen pickles. That's all the good stuff.
Right. But there's a lot of confusion about composting or about something that says it's compostable. People assume it's biodegradable, which means it's just going to break down. You can't recycle it. You cannot put that in your recycling bin. It would be, it's not going to break down. So what we do, because many people do not compost.
I don't compost.
I don't compost.
No way.
I'm looking.
Don't you have to wear Birkenstocks and you got to go out in the backyard and use one of those big barrels and roll it around all the time and throw your eggs in there? Forget about it. I'm not doing it. Yeah, exactly. I'm not doing it.
Put your hat on and get out there.
No way.
You have a twig in your mouth. No, which is actually a very bad stereotype.
It is.
There are a lot of very sophisticated people.
Yeah.
Who are having no problem
composters, right? Of course, but I'm just not a composter. No.
I'm looking into it, but I'm not really sure I'm gonna do it at the moment. But that's the purpose of Artemida. We give you little bits of information. Hey, did you know you could do this? And if you'd like, we could, direct you where to go. And then, I just wanted to get back to the pouch because people don't compost. We are including pre-addressed stamped envelope so people can send us back our pouch and we will compost.
You're like the Hewlett Packard of the supplement business. You send back your cartridge. I don't even know what they do with those, by the way, but yeah, you feel guilty. So you send it back. So it's pre-addressed and it comes with what you order and you send it back.
Yes. Yeah. So to encourage people to really, truly do something great for the environment.
Sure.
The pouch is great. It's plastic free. And it has a better beginning life than single-use plastic. So if people didn't compost it, okay, it's not that bad. But we really wanted to offer a full solution to make it very, very easy for them to make a difference. So just send it back to us. We'll take care of it. And then we will not be throwing it into a landfill. It will be poof and gone.
So you have a big composting facility then where you're getting all these things back? Oh, we just lost your mic. What just happened?
And we'll send it back to them.
Oh, you're back. I lost your voice there a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with your mic.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now. So you were saying that you get back the pouches, and then what happens?
And it will be composted, at a proper
your facility.
Yeah, that we're partnering with something.
Oh, got it. So you don't have like a lot of poop in your place. You have it somewhere else. Yeah.
No, and actually you shouldn't put that in your composter.
Probably not, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So, okay, so but that's very mission driven, right? Because that clearly increases your cost of goods and operation, right? Because you got to get it back, you got to send it out, you got to pay for the postage, you got to do the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's why I'm still hanging on to my day job because, everything is so expensive with what we're trying to do.
Doing it the right way. Yeah.
We're trying to really, really, really do it the right way.
Yes. Yeah. So what you told me, what does the other company sell? Different kind of supplements?
Supplements. Yes, we'll do. We have hearing, we have vision, we have anti-aging, we have male enhancement.
But they're not the same products or just a different brand line or?
No.
Okay.
They're different brands, but I'm really not combining them at all. I really have Artemida standing on her own, and it's an entire different approach. So I really, truly feel after being in this space for 25 years, it's great to take a multivitamin, but the whole approach we have is very holistic. Mind, body, soul. If you don't get all that healthy, life's going to be a little bit more difficult than it has to be. So we're trying to educate, and our audience is women.
Right.
Although
Artemida is the other company, men and women?
Artemida is.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, definitely men and women. And our demographic is skewed really 60 and older, where our demographic for Artemida is, I would say, 25, 55.
Okay.
Much broader range, even though we're only focusing on women.
Okay. All right. And everything's organic?
No, actually, it's not. It's not organic. Artemida with Synergy, it's vegetarian, and we will have vegan, vegetarian products. Okay. The other supplements, they're not all vegetarian. It's not every ingredient that is good for you comes as a vegetarian, option when you put it all together. So it's an organic is something we would never say because there are really stringent guidelines on putting organic on a product. Also made in the USA. I learned that almost every single component of the product and packaging, literally it has to be like 98%. Don't quote me on that, but somewhere really high, almost to perfect, made in the USA, or you can't say it. And I like to follow the rules and not say that, even though I would feel like, almost all of it is made in the USA. But that's one thing, along with companies saying, this is compostable or this is biodegradable or made in the USA. Not always.
Can you say bottled in the USA if it's actually bottled here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And the products are made in the USA, but not every ingredient is sourced technically from the US.
Yeah. So this is a business podcast, right? So we talk about running your business and growing your business. And I think the supplement business is very interesting. I went to high school with a kid. It was actually his brother who took over his dad's like little tiny vitamin business and built it to this it was just when the internet was getting started, built this huge, I remember it was, vitamins and supplements. So how do you build a product in that marketplace? Do you have to go and find a pharmaceutical company or deal with a Chinese company or go to Guatemala or, go to the Orient and pick something off of a tree with a monkey? I mean, how do you develop products? That's what I want to know. Like, how do you develop products in your business?
So we consult with scientists, nutritional scientists, dietitians, and help us formulate products.
So you do formulate your own. It's not like you're sourcing something and say, oh, I like that, and you buy it.
I have both. We have products that are completely our formula that we put together. And then there are some which are called off the shelf, where we'll go to a product manufacturer and they offer a full range and they really gear towards Amazon. The Amazon sellers, that's their purpose, was to have all these formulas. Somebody just say, I want 50 bottles or 100 or 2,000 and put my label on it.
Right.
And I now can take advantage of that because the minimum order quantity for, a standard supplement could be 10,000 units. Well, if I'm testing something, I don't need 10,000 units. Right. So going the whole off the shelf way is really so user friendly.
Right. So as opposed like GNC, which has hundreds of locations, they may be thousands and they have huge ordering. Small companies can't do that.
Correct. Absolutely true. Definitely true.
Yeah. Okay. So, how many products do you have? Like if you run a supplement company, is there like there's some bread and butter, like staple things. And then how do you do that? Because I would think of thousands of SKUs and vitamins. Like if you went into a GNC, there's things all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. And we started with one back in 1997 when I was hired by this company. There were one brand. Then we became 2 brands. Now 5 brands that I market under direct mail, but I am scaling it back to only 2. The reason why was when we first got into this and we were doing direct mail, it was a multivitamin letter from about maybe, I think it was about 8 pages, all about this one multivitamin. And it was an insert into print financial health and travel newsletters. And then it did really, really well. So we said, okay, let's, just try a standalone direct mail solicitation to see if people will buy the multivitamin. And they did. So we then went from a multivitamin to a prostate formula, a memory formula. We did an anti-aging, we did male enhancement, and then the competition in the direct mail nutritional supplement space got really full. Loaded. So we're like, we're competing against so many different people. Well, what if we decided to be our own competitor? because if we're going to mail, there's really a certain number of names that you could prospect to. And we sell them something, and then there may not be new names for a whole quarter. Well, we're just sitting there.
And these are all people that show interest in health and wellness and fitness. Correct. And all that type of stuff,
and
right?
The distinction is that they buy their supplements, not GNC.
Right.
They buy them from their mailbox.
Yeah.
That's our buyer. And then, we decided, okay, this is great because we'll sell a vision product, and as true marketers are, we want you to buy, you're thinking you're not getting results from this. You're going to try something new. Well, we want you to try this other company's, and it's us. So it worked amazing, and we wouldn't mail on top of each other, and that was great. But now, really, I want a brand. We were not even concerned with branding anything. It was really, let's just buy 6 bottles, buy 6. You want to get on continuity and have it shipped every 2 months, fantastic, but we'll try to sell you 6 bottles of something else. And now branding is becoming very, 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 very
branding important. of the product
of the
itself?
The company and the products that company sells, because we really are now going down a different path and want true brand loyalty. So we want to create and mold the companies so that people don't want to look for the next best thing. And so that's where revamping all of those offline companies and then incorporating online as well for those. Where Artemida is definitely online first. I will do some direct mail, but we are all about communicating and getting to the consumer online.
So is the branding kind of like what was that vitamin company? And they have a supplement, Shaklee? Are they still around? They were like maybe they were an MLM structure. And then there's like Arbonne, right? There's some of these companies out there. Yeah. And do they compete with you? I mean, that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to form a huge network to sell their stuff.
This is what's amazing. The supplement business continues to grow. And I honestly say there's enough room for everybody. There really is. Because
you think?
I do. I really do. Because it's going to be the difference of how do you present your business to the consumer better than somebody else. And that is what we are focusing on completely doing.
Right. Because it's a lot of noise out there, right? So you want people to, just like in any business, to say, oh, they recognize your brand and they have faith that it's good.
Right.
They're putting it in their body.
We treat them good. We treat them good. And we're giving them more than just, hey, thanks for your order and we'll contact you again when we need you to reorder or wait for you to call us. We really want to give them information that's going to help in all areas of their lives, not just consuming a supplement.
Here's a word from our sponsors. Looking to get into podcasting? Maybe to market your business for your own enjoyment or because you have a message you want to get out there. One of One Productions is a New Jersey-based studio just over the George Washington Bridge that caters to the booming business of podcasting. They offer a comfortable atmosphere using the latest technology available to record your podcast. And they are a full-service media company offering both audio and video production services, creating both audio and video podcasts as well as video shorts for business and personal use. Professional audio equipment packages are available through their website for all budgets. And be sure to check out their podcast guesting kit, created specially for our listeners. Care for your health. Care for the planet and look flippin' great doing it. North Authentic is a conscious hair care marketplace offering the cleanest brands from around the world. Their pro stylists curate only the most fabulous non-toxic hair products with better-for-you shampoos, serums, masks, and more that actually give you gorgeous hair without hurting your health or the planet. Hey, you've only got one life, one planet, and one glorious mane. Might as well treat them all as best you can, right? Try a 100% clean hair care routine prescribed just for you using their link in the show notes. If you don't see a big, beautiful difference in how your hair looks and feels, you can tell them they're crazy. Do you battle chronic pain, stress, anxiety, or depression? Well, if you take any supplements or you're interested in natural alternatives, you need to know about FindYourHealthyPlace.com. Find Your Healthy Place has thousands of supplements to help you live a better quality of life. as well as natural solutions for chronic pain, stress, anxiety, depression, sleeplessness, and much, much more. Need guidance? Use their live chat feature and talk to a wellness consultant right on their website. And be sure to use our coupon code TAE Podcast for all your purchases to get the best prices at findyourhealthyplace.com. Follow their links in the show notes to learn more about all of our sponsors. And now back to our show. So what's the name of the other company?
We have Bioscience Nutritionals and VitalMax Vitamins. Those are the two we're consolidating to.
Got it. And they're online and offline.
Yeah, definitely very much offline. And now we're incorporating some online as well.
So, if somebody gets something in the mail, I think I still get mail. I don't get much mail. And I get something from one of those companies. How do I make a purchase? Do I go to the website?
You could go to the website, you could mail in your order, or we have a toll-free number, and you could call our agents and they will take your order, which I do actually like. Boy,
that's old school, huh?
It's so funny. But
you said the demographic are much older, right? Yeah.
They do. 50% of the orders will get mailed in with a check or money order, and 50% will get called in. And I do like the call in, even though, it costs more, but our agents can really get them to purchase 6 bottles because it does give them the best savings.
Right. You can upsell.
But it's a great price point for us, and then get them to sign up for continuity as well. So if they purchase 6 bottles right before their 6 bottles ends, then they'll automatically get 2 bottles every 2 months.
Well, obviously recurring revenue increases the value of a business tenfold.
It does. And that's where before,
people miss that.
When we had all those companies and we really weren't concerned with getting the auto shipment because we were thinking, we'll just get them for 6 bottles and then we'll get them to buy another 6 bottles.
But you have them already. Now you got to market to them again and send them more stuff, right?
Right. But we did find that we had a better response of doing in that way. But again, we're re-looking at everything we were doing. How can we do it better? And if we want to really take advantage of the online marketing, I feel we really have to brand, really just hone in on those 2 brands. VitalMax was the original brand from 1994. And then Bioscience Nutritionals came around maybe like 2006.
Right. And people recognize the name, then you can get some more. Yeah. The whole, what's the word? The whole subscription-based type of business, recurring revenue type of lines. I think that there's a lot of small business owners, not just in your business, in other industries, that really miss out building recurring revenue with customers. Like, as a lawyer, I have people that are on retainer and things like that. There's other businesses that sell items that run out. I think our dog food is sent to us automatically through like Chewy, one of those websites, and we used to go to the store, and it was really the pandemic that kind of, we're like, well, the store's closed. What are we going to do? And they were kind of open, but their inventory was terrible. And, and then once we realized that for basically the same price, and unfortunately, all these stores went out of business because they're the Blockbuster of pet stores, they didn't make the transition. So now I think my wife gets a notice. We double check how much we have in the cabinet. If it's getting low, we click OK and shows about our house 2 days later,
Right.
Yeah.
No, and it's great. I just looked at our continuity report like 2 days ago, and it's amazing how many people we actually have on continuity. And I was like, which actually now what we're doing is going to solicit them for testimonials. I mean, if you've been on it 3 years, you love it. So, hey, tell us what you think, which we do solicit for testimonials. We have, in multiple ways, but to just focus on those customers and then really treat them differently. And, there's just so much appreciation for them that, how do we continue to maintain them where they're like, oh, I love this company.
Right.
That's the key.
Well, I think a lot of people miss that out too, right? They don't get Google reviews online. Not doing this or that. So it not only enhances your brand for other people that are looking, but it strengthens the relationship you have with your customer, because now they feel like, oh, wow, they really care what I think. And I think a lot of people, even professionals, they miss that. Like they don't think it's important, and it's very important.
It is. And, I know part of it could be, we've had this discussion, we don't want to bother them. We're just like, what? No.
People say that all the time.
Contact.
Yeah. I know.
They want the contact. They obviously bought your product. They like it. They continue to. Well, they want to be, communicated with and thanked, and we appreciate you. And what do you need from us? How can we improve?
Because something comes up and they're going to forget about you.
Exactly right.
I've had professionals say to me, well, I don't send a newsletter every week because, just people it'll turn them off and it'll upset them. And I go, well, other people are doing that. So clearly they're not getting that upset about it. They can opt out if they want to, but something's going to come up and they're not going to remember you as the whatever CPA or attorney or financial advisor, whatever it is. They're going to call someone else that they just heard from or that they know or they network with, and you're going to miss out on that. We send stuff out at least every week, maybe twice a week, and people can opt out if they want to. I don't get that too many opt-outs. Maybe they just delete it, but they know you're right. They may not read every communication you send, but they see it, whether it's in their hand or online or an email, and they remember the company. I think that's and I think that if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna position your company someday to sell it, look, your owner, your former owner, right, kind of lucked out that he had you. Not everybody's in that position, right? Where you have a key person who's been with the company a long time and that you can talk about a transition and you even wanted to do that, right? So there's a lot of key people out there that don't want to take over the business. And I do a lot of succession planning. I work with a lot of families, partnered businesses. That's always an issue, right? The husband or the wife says this business and they say, okay, well, my spouse is not going to run this. I have these two key people, they'll take over the business. And then when they get into these discussions, they start thinking like, well, geez, if I'm not here, Susan's not going to be able to run this business, and it creates all these issues. And I think that a lot of people much earlier on in their business should start thinking about that. You don't have to, right? You can have a lifestyle business and just shut it down one day and go off on your RV and do whatever you're doing. But if you want to sell your business, it's very hard to just turn around and say, here's my business, it's worth $10 million. And you haven't, followed the principles. You don't have the financial records. You haven't built a brand. You don't have subscription agreements, and I guess in your business, if somebody buys a supplement, for example, you can pretty much tell if they're supposed to take it once a day, assuming they're following the instructions, pretty much when they're going to run out of supply. So it's
exactly.
Very few companies know that.
We have this whole campaign where depending on the amount of bottles that they purchase first, if they didn't sign up for continuity, then they get a notice, hey, just a reminder, and they can get a discount, they get free shipping, just to get them to decide if they want to continue or not. And it makes it really easy.
So is your system automated where it knows if they buy 6 bottles and each bottle has 30 pills in them, and that's one a day, it's going to, and in 6 months, they're going to get a reminder and say, hey, your supplement's probably running out. Is that automated?
Yeah, we have triggers. Yeah, the SKUs are they're tied to triggers, so it's really seamless.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, I'm sure 50 years ago it wasn't like that. You had to actually have somebody had a chart and had to follow it along if they even did that.
Oh my God, Mitch! I remember faxing in our direct mail list orders, faxing them in, and I thought the fax was the list company invention ever. Right? Yeah, we do. We have a company who manages. Of course. Our file, we have a broker. Yeah,
that's still a big business, right?
It is, definitely. And the key is I've had so many people very successful online would love to try direct mail, but they just don't really know where to go, or they know a little bit, but the key is the list.
Yeah, of course, right? The quality of the list, right? You're reaching the right people. I would think that, I know we're getting off the topic a little bit, but as business owners, direct mail, it's kind of a little bit of an open field. Like people are like, well, mail's dying. Well, if mail's dying, then that means nobody else getting mail. So it's not like you're getting lost in a huge pile that's coming to the door anymore, right? So it's kind of a place. That's why Restoration Hardware still sends out their enormous catalog, because nobody else is doing it,
No, direct mail is not dead. I don't believe it's ever going to die. The issue we're running into now is there's a printing shortage. Paper,
oh, interesting.
Envelopes. Oh my God.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Everything is short. It's all been affected by this whole everything got turned upside down. You wouldn't even think about stuff like that. Like you can't get the envelopes to mail this stuff.
No, we're talking 12, 14 week delay.
Is that because factories were shut down or paper stopped being made? There
was a lumber shortage, which turned into the paper shortage. And
it's down the line.
Artemida's using some recycling materials. So, that's readily available. But to print what I do, I just recycled material in, those 11 by 17 sheets. It was really difficult to come by that. And then now just everything is completely backlogged. And that's why online is great. You're not waiting for a print.
Right.
You're not paying for the print. You're not paying for postage.
Right.
So even though it could be expensive to market online, it's very expensive to market to direct mail.
And has the price gone up on all these things, even though you're waiting
absolutely.
longer? A lot.
It's ridiculous. It's, like an envelope could have been 2 cents. Now it's 4, which you think 2 and 4, not bad.
Not if you're mailing thousands and thousands of pieces. Yeah.
You're talking, it adds up. Definitely does.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, maybe that's a little bit of a barrier to entry. Yeah. But I think that when it comes to marketing, people have to be a little bit more, creative. They don't, I guess the average small business owner gets so overwhelmed with marketing. There's so many people screaming at them, Google this and ads here and Facebook and all the social media. And then you get into, well, you ought to be mailing things to people and you send them so they have something in front of you and you got to know your brand. And then they just give up. I think
I agree with you. So now when I took ownership of this company, it was just me. The other people decided they were going to leave. They weren't going to stay on.
Really?
I don't love to manage people. I really don't, and it was all, now I'm fine, but I really was something I didn't want to be bothered with. So I was like, I could just do this myself. And I just can't. It just, so all of these great things to take advantage of, I'm only one person. I couldn't possibly do it. Yeah. So
you had to kind of rebuild the organization around you?
I did. I absolutely did, because I knew what I wanted to get done. And it was just, really wasn't making as much progress as I wanted to. So I was like, okay, I got to kind of get over that need to control everything, just find the right people, put trust in them, and let's just go. And that's been working out really well. Yeah, no, you hold on too tight and it's hard to be successful. And it also reduces the quality of your life because you're just overwhelmed with everything, So how big's the organization now? How many employees do you have? Well, right now I have third-party contracts with everybody that I work with, which is the way I like. I outsource everything. It's just really great. We literally outsource everything: fulfillment, call center, graphic design. So you really don't have to worry about payroll, employee benefits, the whole thing. It's not something you have to worry about at all. I could not even add that to everything that we have going on. It just, I just can't do it. You'd have to hire an HR person. That's what you'd have to do. Right. And then the pandemic, it spawned so many things. And one was the increase in virtual assistants. Yeah. They're available. Perfect. Yeah. Of course. Now, what do you do about sourcing product and warehousing product? You don't have a warehouse somewhere. Does it get drop shipped? The fulfillment center. Yeah. The fulfillment center is this huge warehouse. So they warehouse all of our inventory. So it's a shared warehouse. You're renting space and then they fulfill your orders. Yes, correct. Sure. Absolutely. People don't probably even know that exists. You don't have to buy your own warehouse. No, you absolutely do not. And call center, just hire somebody who that's their job. It's so great to be able to go to these people where they specialize in that particular area you need. Right. Packing, shipping, getting it out the door. Yeah. Now, you said printing's difficult. Has it been difficult to get product at some point? Product. Okay. Product has also been taking longer, and it could be, say, 16, 20 weeks, which it used to be maybe 8 to 12. That's another reason why, if I took an off the shelf formula, I could probably get it turned around in 4 weeks. But, certain formulas where I can't go that route, takes a lot of planning to make sure you have enough inventory. That's what I was going to say. How do you manage, in that business, how do you manage inventory? Because you don't want to wait till you get 6 bottles and call China and say, hey, can you fill these 6? That doesn't work, right? So no, absolutely not. Yeah. And that was another reason why, marketing under 5 companies didn't make any sense. It was a logistics nightmare. It was hard inventory wise. Nightmare. It's not doing that anymore. It's not necessary. And, again, my focus has really changed. So now what we do is, we just plan out our mailing schedule, what's going to mail, how much do we think we're going to mail back into, how much product do we think we're going to sell. And, I really have to be 6, 9, 12 months ahead. Yeah. or we're literally months behind if we're not.
Is everything automated? Is if inventory starts dropping in the fulfillment center, do you know when it reaches a certain level where it's got to be ordered, or depending on the product?
Yes.
Okay.
There's also triggers that notify us to be able to put our eyes on that if we weren't already, going to be vigilant about that. And then we can determine, okay, when is this going to mail again? Did it do well? Are we even going to mail it again? How much continuity do we currently have so we can allocate bottles for that? So that's a manual process. That's something that
Can't
has
automate
to be
that?
analyzed. I could automate, the notification, but no, to then put in a purchase order here and
it requires analysis.
Definitely is very hands-on.
Right,
yes.
Right. So how many times have you been wrong? Like you order a product and it just doesn't, I mean, you're not going out and buying 100,000 units and filling a warehouse. So
no.
Yeah. Have you ever launched something, get stuck with product, and what do you do with it?
Oh yeah. Well, we actually, what happened was copywriters.
Oh, really?
They're great, and then they're not great. So the prior owner, he was our copywriter. He wrote all the copy. We never had to pay
for the mail pieces.
For the direct mail pieces, correct. And all of them I'm using today. They could have been written back in 2000, 2001.
They're that
still
good.
Perform. They're that good. They're great. So I wanted to try something different. I wanted to have this blood flow product. So I came up with a formula. I gave them the ingredients and they give me a price. It's $20,000. I'm like, sure. Cause I know
do
that,
what?
Write a direct mail sales promotion.
$20,000 to write one piece that you have to then reproduce.
I have to then print it and mail it and test it. It's $20,000 with no guarantee. And there are copywriters who go for more than that and then want a royalty. But this I happened to negotiate was $20,000. And
wow.
I have seen copy they've written for other people. When I got it, I was like, this needs a lot of edits. And they were just like, no, we're done. We did everything. And
they wanted more money if you wanted edits?
No, they just were like, there's nothing else to add to this. We feel it's perfect. I can tell you I've put it through many people in my industry and they're like, you can't mail that.
Really?
It's just horrible. It's horrible. So,
and these are people who write for the industry?
They write for a living. And I don't know why. And now we're going to, definitely consolidate it because it was written as a magalog. And a magalog is this really large print format that postage is very expensive, even though we do bulk rate, postage. It's not first class.
Right. Printing
is more expensive, but we've got to completely tear it apart, condense it, and test it because we could not mail it like that. But that's I had the luxury of not having to go through that because the owner was a great copywriter. He just was great.
Interesting. You don't really think about that stuff. I didn't realize it was that expensive, but I guess in the health and wellness industry, you need people that understand the industry, right, in terms and how to write for the industry.
The problem is there are great copywriters out there, I'm certain, that could cost a lot less.
Right.
This person was heavily recommended and I saw their other work and it definitely performed well because I kept seeing it and, talked to people who had inside information like, yeah, no, this was great. And then, there are people who get really, really big. They've got a really great name in copywriting and they hire junior copywriters and put their name on it. And I just am so cautious of that. Yeah.
Yeah. What about regulation, right? So it's not medicine. They're supplements, they're vitamins, things like that. What kind of regulation compliance you have to deal with? Is there any?
We have, as far as labeling goes, there is compliance for the label that is very strict. You can't, what's in it. The product is on the label. We really adhere to that. Our product manufacturer adheres to that. So even if we wanted to say something, they'll kick it back and be like
a claim.
You can't say that. That's right. If we're like, they call it structure function. They'll come back and say, no, it's not. We differ and disagree. We're not going to allow.
Is that the FDA? Is that who you have to submit it to?
No, it's actually the product manufacturer who is held to a higher standard than I am as a mailer, which is good. I want to work with people like that. So, there's that, but and everything we sell, whether it's print on the website or on the packaging, the FDA, we have that disclaimer. The FDA has not evaluated this product. It cannot cure or prevent any disease. That's always has to be on.
So then, okay, so it doesn't have to go get those kind of approvals.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah, but I would guess the manufacturer, they have liability and they're concerned about what you say about it, right? And so forth. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll think about that next time I'm reading a bottle. We'll see. I'm like, I don't think they can say that.
I will tell you.
There's been a lot of stories about people got in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, there are people, unfortunately, who do that. And because I've been doing this for 25 years, I really don't believe anything I read. I'm so skeptical. I have to investigate further than just what is being shown to me. I really will go down a rabbit hole trying to see if because if I'm interested in something, then I'm like, oh, is it really true? And I will cause myself a lot of extra work to do that.
I mean, they say things like it boosts this or it helps with this or that. And they also have the disclaimer, but they're certainly, they're trying to sell the supplement based on what they're saying it does.
Right. And there are people who truly, truly, truly believe that they're getting a benefit. They could say, vision supplement, my vision did improve. My hearing did improve. Now there are other people who be like, nope, didn't do anything for me. Fine. You get a full refund. We're good to go. But there are people who they believe truly in these supplements. They want to go a natural route, and those people just keep growing. And I had just recently read a statistic where it was like 2019, say the supplement business grew 15% over the prior year. Well, then COVID hit and it grew 48%.
Really? Wow.
So it's only getting bigger. A gazillion billion-dollar industry per year is now even bigger because people are looking for supplements.
Right. Well, people are looking for holistic, natural, preventative remedies. They're not looking to get sick and then go to the doctor. That's right. That's what our medicine does, basically. We'll fix you when you're sick, but don't come to us because you feel good and you want to stay better. I just read something. Was it my wife's cousin? There's an OB in Miami, and they just switched over their practice to all hormone replacement therapy. There's all kinds of studies now that have said that just because you're 65 and your hormone level's low, that's not natural. It doesn't have to be that way. And because people just say, well, I'm 65, I'm breaking down, and that's just life. Apparently that's not true. If they can maintain your hormone level, you live a healthier life and you live longer. I don't know. So we'll see. Not 65 yet, but we'll get there something.
But that's the whole thing. It's like, as we're aging, all of these amazing products are being created and promoted for people to try and see if it will keep us younger and healthier, which is not a bad thing.
No, I mean, look, I don't want to live till I'm 250, but
no,
100.
Quality of life is king. Yeah. I don't.
Tell me about it.
Right. Yeah. But healthy. You want to be happy. You want to be healthy. You want to just, have a really positive outlook. And people they're always looking for that.
Of course.
Always.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's all over TV and there's infomercials.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where, with Artemida, we really are taking the whole approach where it's not just selling you a supplement. It's the whole really mind, body, spirit as one, how you talk to yourself. Are you friendly to yourself? Because so many people aren't. And that, negative thinking just brings everything down.
Oh, really no question about it.
Key to feeling healthy.
No, I'm definitely a proponent of positive vibrational energy. I think, our whole bodies are electric. Electricity's gone, you're dead. Right. So if you're negative, you're going to attract negative things. If you're positive, you're going to attract positive. It's just the way it works, Even if you don't want that, I think you still attract it. You know what I'm saying? You're worried about it. I don't want that to happen to me, whatever. And then it happens to you because you're thinking about it. Yeah, because you're focusing on it.
It's really
maybe
crazy
I'm off.
Because I can tell you, it's really crazy because I feel that it's so simple. It's like, oh, that makes so much sense, but it's so difficult to put into practice.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah. Life has a way of beating the crap out of you. I hate to say it that way. But.
Right. It's a constant, hey, let's reframe that, or let's look at it a different way, or, it's really a choice. Some people are just get something out of being angry, and
I know, but I think it's a practice, right? So if you practice being positive, it'll get easier for you. If you stay stuck in being negative and you're negative, that's just easy for you to fall back into those ways. Even like illness. I have some friends who and I get car sick too, but I have inner ear problems, right? So I can't go on roller coasters, none of that stuff. They would like get in my car and say, I got to put the air on. I don't feel well. And I'm like, I haven't even started the car yet. Like, it's not even on, but it's so embedded in their mind that this is going to happen that they're already feeling, psychosomatic, things. And I guess maybe to a small extent, supplements, the ones that believe in it get more benefit because they believe in it and their body's responding well to it. And the ones that are skeptical to begin with, probably an uphill battle. Even if it is helping them, they don't even notice or acknowledge it. I'm sure there's a little bit of that going on too, right?
I think you're absolutely right on that. Definitely. Yeah. And my husband is somebody who oh my gosh, he takes so many supplements, like so many, and he never gets sick. He never gets sick.
Right, probably is because he's such a positive attitude, because he thinks that these are all doing well for him and he's happy and whatever. He's just totally bulletproof.
Yeah, and every time I start to get the sniffles or everything, he's always, here's vitamin C, here's zinc, and I'd be like, hey, I'm a marketer, I don't have all of that, even though I know a little bit, but I'm a marketer. If you ask me something, what exactly does this ingredient do? I'd be like,
that's not your job.
Let me go check and get back to you.
Right.
I'm not really exactly the person to ask that question.
Right. Well, you're the business person.
If you want me to sell it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And let me tell you something, as the CEO, owner, and chairman of the board, you shouldn't know that. Like, peripherally, you should know it, but you shouldn't. Right. You're not the scientist. That's not a good use of your time.
Yeah. It just isn't. That's exactly right. I think that's key, is knowing what you're good at, what you excel at, that brings the whole business forward and helps that grow, is to focus on that and then realize what you're not good at and then get people who are good at that to take over.
Yeah, that's definitely key. A formula for success. And some people don't do that. Yes. They won't let go. They're always running everything and they think that's the way to do it. And they struggle. But I appreciate you coming on with me today. So tell me, if people want to learn about Artemida, if they want to learn about the two other brands, what do they do? How do they find you? Where do they go?
Quickest way would be online. So Artemida is artemida.love.
Okay, very nice.
And then VitalMax Vitamins is a .com, and Bioscience Nutritionals is also a .com. They can find us there.
Very good. Well, we'll put links in the show notes as well, so Make it easy on people that are not driving their cars, but we'll do that. And I appreciate spending some time and coming on with me to talk about all the goodness in the world.
I appreciate it, Mitch. Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to share it all.
If you like the podcast, please tell others about us. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, on Amazon Music, and many of the other podcast directories. If you like what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review and feel free to share our episodes on social media. If you have any questions or comments, ideas for the show, or you'd even like to appear as a guest, reach out to us by email at info@beinhackerlaw.com. The Accidental Entrepreneur is hosted and produced by me, Mitch Beinhacker. If you'd like more information about my legal services, you can find me on social media or visit my website at beinhackerlaw.com. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe to our feed to be notified of all future episodes.